Hi, welcome to One Room at a Time. This is the place where we talk about all things design and all things you, because good design is really all about you. It's about figuring out what works for you, what feels good for you, and what you are going to like when you walk down the stairs in the morning, what you're going to like to see. So today we have kind of a mini episode, mini podcast video, and it's about picking a sofa. Picking a sofa, it's a big commitment. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you probably spend a lot of time on your sofa, so it has to meet your needs. And it's also usually a really pretty big commitment in terms of cost. So let's get into it. We're going to briefly touch on the things that make for a really good sofa and how to customize it to your needs. But we're also going to expand on how to make it work in your style. And this is kind of a mini, so it might turn into a series, but I'm going to try to touch a few things to help you out if you're shopping for a sofa today. So, number one thing, most important thing about picking a sofa, is the size. Okay, that might sound obvious, but I know, at least some of you, have walked into a furniture store and you're like, "Ooh, I really like that." And whether or not you took it home at that moment, you were guided by how something looks versus the size. Nothing wrong with that, no judgment, but my job is to show you how to pick the best sofa for your space. And when I start working on a design, I cannot pick furniture without some loose dimensions in mind. So the first thing you must do, you must do, is measure your space and get a feel for what's going to work in there. Now, you're in luck. I wrote a book. It's called The Living Room Design Formula. It's available on Amazon. It is really easy to get, and it is a great book that will walk you through measuring your space. It will walk you through picking a sofa. It will walk you through all the steps of creating a really good design for your family room, living room, great room. And it does apply to other rooms too, but as you know, because you're tuning in, this is all about one room at a time. When we design one room at a time, we get confidence, we are able to work our budget really beautifully, and we get approval from the people around us because they're going to see that we've really finished the complete space and they know that we're doing a good job. So that's why I wrote the Living Room Design Formula, and please pick it up on Amazon. Again, the Living Room Design Formula. Pick it up on Amazon, and I would love if you like it. Even if you don't like it, write a review for me, please. I want your feedback. You can also leave feedback in the comments. Please like and subscribe. It's really helpful for me to know what content is helpful for you, but also to continue to make great content. So, size is the most important thing. And in the Living Room Design Formula, I walk you through all the steps that designers take to map their space. You can do it. It's really not that difficult. You just need to follow the process. You just need to follow the formula, and you will be able to figure out what's a good size for your sofa. There may be a couple configurations that work in your space, but it's really important that you know before you go into that furniture store or even shop online. I want you to have a sense of about what works. So maybe it's a kind of classic 86-inch traditional sofa. Great. If you know that works, you're going to have tons of options. Maybe you want an L shape or a U shape, or maybe you want a sofa with chaise lounges on either side. There are so many ways you can go, but until you map your space, you really can't start to shop. You really need to know what is going to fit well. And then just side note, you really need to know what's going to fit through your doors. If you have to go upstairs, you need to make sure it all fits there. I would love to tell you that I've never been in a situation where I ordered something and then it didn't fit, but I have. It's happened, sadly. Anyway, let's move past that, and hopefully you can too, if it happens to you. It's like a deep wound. Anyway, your sofa must fit. So the first thing you need to do is make sure it is good for your space. But the second thing you need to do is not the style, even though you might think it is. The second thing you need to do is understand what you want in a sofa in terms of comfort. So a lot of people tell me that they want a really deep sofa, and that's great. I love a deep sofa. They look great. But how deep is what you really want? Sometimes people think they want a really deep sofa, but then they actually sit in a deep sofa and they realize it's not as comfortable as they think. If you're getting a truly extra deep sofa, 45 inches deep is what I would consider extra deep, you might actually not find that to be very comfortable. Some people find that it's really hard to get in and out of, that their legs fall at a weird spot. It's not comfortable to sit in. It's really only comfortable for laying down. Maybe that's all you need. Knowing what you need is the important part. So if you want a sofa just for taking naps on, that extra deep sofa might be perfect. But if you also like to entertain and you want to have people over and you want to be able to sit there with a glass of wine, the extra deep sofa may not be your jam. I don't know. You need to know what you want in terms of comfort. So after we measure and have a general idea what size we want, whether you're planning to buy your sofa online or not, I want you to go to a furniture store and I want you to sit in some different sofas and observe. Do I like the extra deep? Do I like not, maybe you don't like it really shallow, but maybe there's a depth in between. Measure. Know what you're getting. And when you're looking at those measurements, I want you to also know what the back cushion's like, because that makes a huge difference, not just in how comfortable it is, but also in how it looks every day. So if you want something that's really cushiony and you just soak into it, of course you're going to look for something that has that really fluffy, soft back cushion. But keep in mind, those back cushions, they require some maintenance. You have to fluff them up. You have to, if you care about it looking really nice and clean, which you wouldn't be here if you didn't care. If you care about that, you want something that's going to hold its shape to a degree. Or you just need to be prepared. If you are intentionally getting something that's really cushy and soft, you need to be prepared for how that's going to look in a few years, because as time goes on, the fibers compress, and that is going to play a role in the way it wears over time. So you need to figure out first size, second comfort. You want to think about how deep it is. You also want to think about how high it is. If you are a family of tall people, you want something that's higher. But if you're not, you don't. So you need to adjust based on what works for you. And then I also want you to think about what the cushions should feel like. I personally love the feeling of a down feather cushion, but I really hate down feather cushions because no matter what type of protection they've come up with to prevent those little feathers from pointing out, they almost always do. And then you have to pick them out and then you get little feathers everywhere. So I almost never order a down cushion, back cushion, or seat cushion for that matter, unless the client really wants it. There are so many great alternatives out there. There are a lot of alternatives that are designed to feel like down. So you have options. And going to the furniture store, sitting in that furniture, measuring it, that is your opportunity to figure out what you like. And who knows, you might find the perfect piece at that furniture store, and by all means, get it. But you might just be doing research. You might just figure out what you like and then take it home with you and search online. Both are good. Not everyone can shop at a high-end furniture store. Not everyone can buy something at a high-end furniture store, but everyone can shop at a high-end furniture store. And that's going to give you a lot of information. And then the last thing is style. Once we know what size we need, once we know what we like in terms of comfort, that's when we start filtering it through the styles that we like. Do you want something really clean? I personally love a sofa that's called a tight back sofa. That's something that does not have back cushions because it always looks nice. And I have plenty of pillows in my house, so I don't ever get that feeling of being uncomfortable. But you need to figure out what styles you like, what type of arms you like, what type of cushions you like, and that is going to help you. So this is all the time I have for today, but I think this is a topic we're going to keep going with. I would love your feedback. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, and tell me, was this helpful? And if so, what did you like about it? And what would you like to hear more about? Thank you so much for joining me. It is great to chat with you, and I'll talk to you soon.